Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
We start with breaking news. Just hours ago, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz announced that he is going into self-quarantine after making contact with someone who tested positive for COVID-19. A member of Walz's security detail, who the governor was close to last week, tested positive for the illness on Sunday night. Since then, Walz has been quarantined in his home, where he will stay until April 6th to avoid spreading the virus. He is not currently showing any symptoms. Walz has said that he will continue to oversee the state's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar announced this morning that her husband has COVID-19. According to her statement, her husband started feeling sick when she was in Minnesota and he was in Washington, D.C. He immediately self-quarantined despite thinking that it was just a cold. She also says that he has pneumonia and is on oxygen but not a ventilator. For the full statement from Senator Klobuchar, just go to the VNL app and find this story. In Minnesota, there are currently 169 positive cases of COVID-19, most clustered around the Twin Cities. Meanwhile, in North Dakota, the state is reporting 30 positive cases. Most of those are around the Bismarck area. Taking that live look outside right now, kind of an overcast day, but it feels pretty decent, and we're really not seeing very much snow on that sky cam anymore. For what we can expect for the rest of our forecast, let's head on over to First Alert Storm Team meteorologist Justin Fanfarelli.
And thank you, Jordan, and good afternoon, everybody. Yes, we are seeing temperatures rise right now, and we will have decreasing clouds throughout the next few hours. Current temperatures look like this at 32 in Fargo, already into the upper 30s out toward Jamestown, into northwestern Minnesota, upper 20s to near 30 degrees. So temperatures on their way up. We do have a stronger southerly flow than this morning. Most of us having winds between 10 and 20 miles per hour, with that warm air continuing to filter in. And it looks like most of the fog problems we've been dealing with this morning are almost over. Thief River Falls, just a little bit of reduced visibility, reporting 4 miles. The fog should be burning off up there pretty soon. Other than that, we do have a good amount of cloud cover, especially in the southern half of our viewing area. More sunshine further north, and we're going to have a decrease in clouds throughout the day as partly cloudy skies turn mostly sunny. We'll actually see a good amount of sunshine before it does set, and that will get temperatures in Fargo to near 40 degrees. We'll have a nice warm up as we go through the day tomorrow, and a chance of some rain or snow showers. Details coming up.
Looking forward to the warm up. Thank you, Justin. New at noon, court documents show a Fargo man is facing sex crime charges for sexually assaulting a young girl. 36-year-old Raymond Reed is facing gross sexual imposition and child porn charges. Court documents say he sexually assaulted a young girl and showed her porn. A search warrant found child porn on Reed's phone. He'll be in court again in April. 3 western Minnesota counties are exploring the idea of converting part of a former prison into a care center for people who have the coronavirus. They have asked the owner of the former Appleton prison about using a pod in the building exclusively for coronavirus patients. The CEO of Appleton Area Health Services says the plan would start with 11 rooms and then expand to 77 beds if needed. Tennessee-based Core Civic says it will provide the facility at no cost. The Appleton prison closed in 2010. The Swift, Chippewa, and Lackaparle County boards are expected to vote on the idea next week. President Donald Trump's decision to approve disaster declarations for New York, California, and Washington state could mean thousands of extra hospital beds there. But he has been reluctant to take some other steps. Paula Reed is at the White House with more.
I'm a wartime president. This is a war.
As state governors increasingly call for more aggressive action from the White House, President Trump has announced he has activated the National Guard in states hit hardest by the outbreak.
Today I'm announcing action to help New York, California, and Washington ensure that the National Guard can effectively respond to this crisis.
Governors will have leeway to use the National Guard as they see fit and could include assistance for medical facilities, healthcare professionals, and even law enforcement. But the president continued to send conflicting messages on using the Defense Production Act, which empowers the federal government to mobilize the private sector to increase the production of goods.
Thank you.
State leaders like Governor Andrew Cuomo have asked the president to employ the act.
I think the federal government should order factories to manufacture masks, gowns, ventilators, the essential medical equipment that's going to make the difference between life and death.
And while the president signed it just last week,
We'll be invoking the Defense Production Act.
he says he doesn't actually want to use it.
The concept of nationalizing our business is not a good concept.
The administration says that companies have stepped up voluntarily, but some governors in especially hard-hit states like Illinois are calling for a uniform approach.
This should have been a coordinated effort by the federal government.
The president insists this is not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Every state's different. I mean, Idaho, West Virginia, Iowa, Nebraska are much different than New York, than California.
The president still could not say when the U.S. will reopen for business, but Vice President Mike Pence said that today the CDC will issue new guidance about how people who have been exposed to the virus could return to work more quickly by wearing a mask for a period of time. In our Healthier Me this afternoon, as the U.S. continues to deal with the coronavirus outbreak, allergy season has also arrived. So how do you know if your sneezing and sniffles are from pollen or the virus? Health experts say the biggest telltale sign of allergies is itchiness in your eyes and nose, along with congestion and sneezing. The symptoms for the coronavirus are much more serious. They include fever, cough, and shortness of breath. Doctors say one of the most effective go-to treatments for seasonal allergies is a nasal steroid spray. Minnesota health officials are again asking for blood donors. The state is in desperate need. If you're healthy and showing no symptoms, you're urged to make an appointment with your local blood bank. The need for donations is increasing every day because so many blood drives have now been canceled. Farmers and ranchers in the area are busy with calving season and prepping for spring planting despite this global pandemic. And North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum has proclaimed this week North Dakota Ag Week. Agriculture produces $8 billion in cash receipts in the state and supports 25% of the workforce. The latest tally shows the state has about 26,000 farms. The average is about 1,500 acres in size. Coming up here at noon, we hear just about every day of the wild swings the stock market is taking. But how else is the coronavirus affecting the economy? We'll explain in just a bit. But next, Justin Fanfarelli is in with what we can expect for our mild Monday forecast.